Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. So today I got kind of an interesting one for you. So Launch sent me this Creader Elite scan tool from King Bolin Launch. This is a sub $150 scan tool that I'm going to be putting up against an actual Honda HDS system, which you can see that's what I normally use to work on Honda vehicles. So the test is, at home, can you buy this sub $150 device that will give you just as much functionality as a dealer level scan tool? So that's what we're going to find out today. Alright, so I'm going to do the fun stuff first. I'm going to go ahead and hook these both up. This is a 2017 Honda CR-V. So it's not a brand new Honda, but it's not an old one either. So it should give us kind of an idea of what both of these can do with a newer vehicle. I'm just going to run through some common tests and things we look at and like how it reads codes and stuff like that. Mainly focusing on what you as a consumer, as a DIY mechanic at your house, would most likely need either one of these for. Obviously, this setup here is pretty much out of reality for most people. You know, you're not going to use that. Honestly, most Honda techs nowadays don't even use HDS system. They use a more advanced aftermarket tool, whether it's Launch or someone else. But again, I think it'd be a good test to see how these compare, because in theory, you can do everything you would need to do on this vehicle with obviously Honda, the HIM module, which is the Honda interface module, and they claim that this can do everything you'll need. So we're going to find out. And then at the end of the video, I'll have more of the unboxing and the initial setup of this. So if you do decide to get this, you might want to watch the end of the video to see how to go about setting it up. All right, so it's important to understand that for just basic checking, clearing codes, there are even cheaper alternatives. But this might be a good solution because this is just slightly more expensive than some of the cheapest code readers, and it allows full bi-directional control. You can do active tests, you can do module replacements, ADAS recalibration, customization. It includes all systems, including the engine, transmission, ABS, safety restraint, SAS, EPB, fuel systems, everything. It's also a universal code reader for all cars after 1996, so you can just read codes on any vehicle. How the Launch system works with this tool, it's meant for Honda. You buy the unit, it comes with free lifetime updates. So I'll cover how that works here in a little bit. But I'm going to show you with the HDS system first. We'll go ahead and ignition turned on here on the vehicle. Got it plugged in to the OBD2 port. Scan tool takes a while, boot up, and then it's going to go through and establish communications with all the modules in our vehicle. And the newer the car, the more modules it has. So it does go ahead and try to ID all the modules. Alright, so we're finally been through all the systems. Now, I don't have any active codes or check engine lights or anything on the dash, but I did go and pull a bunch of fuses on all the modules just to kind of, throw a bunch of codes into the system. So that's why it took so long. There's an all DTC check here. And this is where a lot of times you would start if you were diagnosing a problem. You would check all your systems for trouble codes, and then you can address each one and drill in on it and do specific tests from there. Alright, so here's all the stuff. So we've got U codes, FCAN malfunction. These are all going to be from where I just was unplugging modules. So SRS system, lost communication with VSA modulator. Opener short to ground in the front passenger airbag off indicator. ABS codes, all communication failures. Yeah, wheel speed sensors. I was just unplugging stuff, causing chaos. So body electrical, real-time all-wheel drive. So this kind of shows you just what we got here. All right, so if we start with check engine codes, this will kind of tell us what the failure is, what can cause it. Same thing if we go through the different modules, lost communication. So then from there, you can go into the tool. So for instance, the SRS system, if I click tool, it will take me into the SRS system. Believe it or not, even though this is dealer level scan tool, there's really, it's not a whole bunch of stuff. You can look at the DTCs. This is kind of like with each module here. There's DTCs, data list. So I'll show you what that is. So it shows you, these are all your different. So the ECU maker, Continental. Left front seat belt buckle, unbuckled. Right front seat belt buckle, unbuckled. So what happens is, this is kind of like real time. So I should be able to, you see how it changed to buckled when I buckled in the seat belt. See, so this is how we can diagnose that system. So, you know, if it's always saying it's unbuckled even though you buckled it, and you know, you can tell, okay, there's an issue right there. Passenger from passenger weight, it says 3.75 pounds on the seat. You know, long story short, this is how it works. Now if we go back, hit this exit button, in each system there's also snapshot, which would be for errors, and then adjustments. This is the key. This is the two-way functionality here that we're trying to match with the launch tool. So the only thing I can do in this module, it says SWS initialization, which we don't want to do, but that's the adjustment that we can make. Okay, so I'll give you a different example real quick just so you get an idea. So I'm going to do is I'm going to get out of there. We're just going to go to the Honda systems, which is the top one here. Now these are all of our different modules. So the vehicle does not necessarily have all these modules, but this is them. So PGM-FI, this is our engine computer. It's a good one to look at. We'll go in here. All right. So again, DTCs, data list, which I just showed a minute ago on the other one. It's going to be all the different engine data that we can look at. We can also data log in PSCM. This is evap test, VTC test. These are a bunch of different fence, radiator fan, AC clutch, fuel pump on. So here we go. I can command the fuel pump on. So I can hear it running. Shows how much gas I have. I just shut it off. So we can command this stuff to happen. So here's the list. Radiator fan. Just turn the fan on. You can hear it turn on. Turn the fan off. Okay, so I just plugged in our new tool here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the key forward. And what we'll do is we'll click the auto detect. So it's doing a VIN scan. Okay, 2017 Honda. Now it's going to do vehicle detection. Okay, so it's asking the area. Choose area, USA. Receiving vehicle information, please wait. So you saw it took a really long time with the HDS. This seems to be much faster. Such as the vehicle year, engine ID, the VIN number. Do you want to execute this test? The checking will take some time. Just follow the instructions. So it's doing the same thing. It's looking at all the different systems and it's pulling up the fault codes. This is what they call the health report. So far this is a lot faster. And again, it's going through all the systems, whether the car has it or not, just trying to ID if they are there. It's looking at all the CAN bus networks for modules. And here's our professional diagnostic report. So the engine computer says there are 3 abnormalities. It's the same DTCs. It shows what they are and gives a description of each one. Automatic transmission normal, ABS system 10 codes. You can see all the same stuff we had. SRS codes. So now I'm on Wi-Fi. Click share. Alright, so we can pick the email address we want to send it to. I'm going to hit send. Alright, so it should have sent that report. Okay, so here's the email that I got right here. Just came through. It says click here to download the diagnostic report. So again, like I said, it's important to note that free lifetime updates with this unit for Honda. Now, if you want to use this with a different vehicle, you can do basic code reading, but if you want to do any advanced functions, you can purchase the module. I believe it's good for 1 year. So if you purchase a module right from the unit, I'll show you how to get there. If you go in here, just go back here to the mall. Just show you this real quick before I forget. So let's say you had a Chrysler you needed to work on. You could go in here and purchase the software for that. You can see they have like every vehicle, and it's like $38 for each brand. Like I said, I believe it's good for a year. It would just give you that full access to each brand. But while that's going through and getting back on here, I'll show you how the report looks. Looks really nice, professional. This allows you to go through these later and open everything up and look at everything. Pretty cool though. Very professional. If you have a shop, you can send that to a customer. So I'm just going to go through and I'm going to clear these codes out, and then we're going to try to do some of those bi-directional functions of the scanner here and see what all it can do. So far, it's a really neat code reader, if nothing else. Alright, so to erase the codes, for example, this is our engine computer here. We're going to click that red X there. And then now we can clear the codes, read fault code, module information, actuation test, special function. So let's see what the special function is. It's right here. It says write VIN, replace ECM, PCM, crank pattern learn, throttle learning readiness code, shipping mode release, injector learning value clear, consumption current history. That's already everything that the HDS could do and more, actually. You can read data streams, actuation tests. So again, it's all this stuff HDS had: evap test, VTEC test, AC clutch, fuel pump on. So again, let's try an active test with a radiator fan. So there's the fan, turning it on and off. Alright, so turn on the fuel pump test. So it is on. It wanted me to put on the parking brake though, so it's a little bit different. Okay, now the fuel pump's off. So again, looks like it can do pretty much all the same type of testing. So we're going to clear our codes in the engine computer. So now under our ABS system, we'll go in here Same thing, special function, or ABS. So you can do a brake pad maintenance mode, which is if you're going to change the rear brake pads, you have to put, it has electronic parking brake, you do have to put that into maintenance mode. So that's important. This can do that. Actuation test. So again, solenoids, left front VSA, brake light relay test. Can do everything HDS can do. You can do data stream. So it's right here. Applying the brake. This will show us brake switch on, brake pressure, how hard I'm pushing on the pedal, showing all this data. Pretty neat. You can record it. You can make a report, combine it with other data. Just to give you an idea, we're going to clear the codes in here. Turn the switch off. Hit OK. Turn the switch on. Hit OK. Says that's clear. We're back to the SRS system. Special function, we'll just see that SWS initialization, same thing as HDS. Read data stream. These are all the like driver seat sensor, all that stuff. So again, 3.78 pounds on the front seat, which makes sense. I do have something sitting there. All the belt status. We're going to clear fault codes. Okay, go back. Electronic power steering. Special function. Steering and position learning. EPS, steering angle sensor value clear. Control, torque sensor neutral point learning. So again, this can do more than HDS can do. Pretty neat. There's freeze frame data, live data, module information. Let's just look at that. So it says the VIN, the ECU name, ECU identifier, and the serial number. We're going to clear the fault codes. Now the gauge system, fault codes. Alright, so special function. Let's look at this one. Instrument control module replacement. So that's what I was talking about. You can reset maintenance information. I don't know what this manually reset service. It's probably have to look that up. Don't want to reset anything. So again, here you can read the data from the old cluster, write the data into the new cluster. One thing that I see already, I don't know for a fact, if you read an old cluster, it will lock it and put all the dashes through the odometer, so it can't be used again after you've written the data into a new cluster. This is gauge lock release. I would imagine that takes that lock off of here. So pretty neat little function on here that obviously you cannot do with HDS. So we're going to clear our fault codes. So really neat already. So the BCM, let's go into here. Okay, unit information. So it's just showing you everything about the BCM. So it's all the different, like power windows. And each thing has its own special function. again, trunk list, tailgate release command, keyless buzzer, special function, erase remotes, add remotes. So you can do some remote control stuff with this. That's pretty cool. So again, these are commands. So if you have a problem with your headlights, like you can command the headlights on. So my headlights just turned on. Press exit, they turn off. So there's a bunch of these different ones. Kind of useful to see if it's the switch itself or the body control module. Electric brake booster faults. So not a lot you can do here. We're just going to clear the codes. Air conditioning system faults. Alright, so that's everything is green, which means green is good. Alright, so if we get out of here, would you like to end your diagnostic session? I'm going to click yes. So again, these are the modules that are installed. So we have Honda, Acura. There's this demo. If we go back to the main screen here, these are the options, OBD2. So just doing a quick scan, mil status off, DTCs in the ECU 0, readiness completed, readiness not completed, data stream supported. So basically it's just interrogating the OBD2 system, giving us some data, and then diagnostics takes us where we were. Told you the mall, settings, which I cover a little bit in a different section. But that is it. I mean, that's the main part there. So last thing, now that I've got everything clear, I'm just doing a health report on the vehicle real quick, and it's running through all the systems again, looking for any issues. You can see green is good, red means there's an issue. So you can see everything is green. Click report. Here's the report. Again, you can share that via email. All right, so I'm really pleasantly surprised. I thought this was going to be a little bit more difficult, but it is actually very easy for me to recommend this product, especially with free lifetime updates. So I'll have a link in the description with the discount. You can click on Amazon and save $30. This is only $140 right now. So for 140 bucks, you have this advanced level bi-directional scan tool. I will say you can get yourself into a little bit of trouble with this. So if you're just a DIY person, just be careful what you click on. Stick to what you're trying to work on. Don't go crazy and start messing around with stuff. It does allow you to program modules, write data back and forth. So just be careful what you do. Totally going to replace that whole setup, that clunky old HDS setup that I have. I'm really impressed by it. Again, stick around. I'll have the unboxing and setup here in just a second. But if you like the video, be sure to like it. Be sure to subscribe. Again, there'll be a link in the description where you can buy it. As always, thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later. Another video. So I just unboxed this new Launch. It's called the Creader Elite H. Stands for Honda. And these do come different versions depending on the vehicle that you buy. I do talk about mostly Ford and Honda on my channel. So I've been looking for a good scan tool that I can recommend to those of you with late model Honda vehicles. It looks kind of like a 4-inch touchscreen. Resolution is 480 by 800. It does have a 4-core 1.3 gigahertz processor, 1 gig of RAM, 16 gigabytes of ROM. It does support Wi-Fi, 2.4 gigahertz, USB Type-C port, and obviously OBD2 port here. Comes with the data cable, user manual, quick start guide, and I'll go ahead and show you how to just set it up real quick. run through some initial settings, check to make sure you have the latest software installed, and then we're going to get right to testing this unit out. All right, so like I said, you can check for the latest updates if you go to About, Version, Detection System Update, check version. So that's how you check for a system update. So to check for, there's actual just software that can be updated. You go to this screen here where it says Upgrade. You can see anything that's in red. You can see the current version, like so Honda Acura, it's 48.9 on the unit. You can't upgrade it to 49.2. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit Update the selected ones, and like I said, as long as you're on Wi-Fi, it will download and install the software updates. Alright, so now everything is up to date. So you can see I just clicked on the mall function, and basically what these are is this unit came with Honda software, as you saw. So it has free lifetime upgrades for the Honda software. If you want to use this unit for other brands of vehicles, you can go to the mall and you can buy the software. So let's say Chrysler Dodge Jeep, it's $38.35. You can buy it. Anything you buy from the mall is only good for 1 year. So keep that in mind. But it is good, that way you don't have to go buy a whole new scan tool if you just need to work on one of these vehicles temporarily. That's kind of like how you can go about doing that. So what these really are good for is just like dealer level software. If you work on a specific vehicle quite a bit, like in my case, on my Fords I use ForScan. In this case I needed a good Honda one without dragging out the HDS setup. So I have free lifetime updates for the Honda software that is built in.